Ooh-wee, y'all. This is DB Bray, the writer, and I'm hooking it up. I've got, let me shut that down. I've got my narrator, Walt Allen from The Last Tribe, coming on right now. And this segment is brought to you by Mobilo Business Card. If you are not familiar with Mobilo, they are a business card that allows you to tap someone's phone with all of your books, YouTube channels, everything you've got. And they're able to see those things without you ever touching anybody. So that's a big deal, and especially if you're a writer or a book reviewer and you're trying, you're in the supermarket, you're selling, and you need to be able to touch base with somebody and let them know who you are. Use this Mobilo card. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Find that link in my bio and get it. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Walt Allen, is the narrator for The Last Tribe. If he can figure out how to. Thank you, Val.
Good deal. Hey, you can see me,
Walt?
right? You can see me,
Hello,
right?
Walt.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you can see me?
I can. There's a lot of you, Walt. I can see all of it.
Okay, good. Okay. Oh, no! Oh.
So what's going on, Walt Allen?
I'm in my studio, been working today.
Yeah.
And gonna chat with you, solve all the world's problems.
Are you now?
That's the plan,
That's
right?
the plan. Well, your voice is solving some problems for everybody, so that's good. So you are officially the narrator of The Last Tribe.
Yes.
And
we finished that.
We have sold 18 copies thus far in 3 days. Which is pretty phenomenal for us. We're new in the game, so that's a huge thing. So
without a big publishing house behind us,
yeah, we're moving.
We don't have Meryl Streep doing the narration or anything like that. We don't have a big budget or anything. So
I guess I have a mic problem. Okay, I don't know if everybody can hear me. Can you hear me well, Walt?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to keep rolling.
I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you get Walt Allen blooper reels, it will keep you laughing all night. It is great. So my volume is low. All right. So let me just try to. Okay. So
there you go.
Classic hears me. Okay. So maybe it's just something. All right. We're going to keep it rolling. So, Walt, give me a background. How did you get into voice acting?
Well, originally, way back in the years when the dinosaurs ruled the earth, and before there were computers in radio, I started an internship when I was in college at a radio station, and it was my favorite job I've ever had, was doing radio. Live on the air. So you're doing the stuff on the radio, and then did voices for characters for the guys, and that turned into a full-time fill-in position for everybody there at the radio station. And I did that for 3.5, 4 years. Then I went off to grad school for other stuff and left the radio career behind, but I loved it. And was doing that. It was just wonderful because it was live. It was like doing voice acting theater because you couldn't record it ahead of time, and it was awesome. And if you got a segue on 2 songs, it was perfect. It was like hitting a home run. The hairs on the back of your neck stood up, and you're just like, yeah. And then there was no recording of it. It just happened. And it was out there. But now the radio stations, if you can find a radio station that's real, it's all recorded and on computers, and then they don't even pay attention to them anyway, and there's no artistry behind it, and they could do perfect segues if they wanted to, but they don't even pay attention to that. It's all crap. I'm old grumpy, get out of my yard. So nobody knows what good music is anyway nowadays.
Whatever. You're still rocking the Cure from the 70s. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, listen, I was listening to Maggot Brain this morning. That stuff's awesome.
Is that the playlist you sent me?
No, Maggot Brain's not. Do you know Maggot Brain?
I don't. I don't know if I want to know.
George, you know who George Clinton is, right?
Yeah, Clinton the Funkadelic, sure.
Funkadelic. Maggot Brain is was Funkadelic's best album from
Oh,
1971. They did that album entirely on LSD, and it seriously, look it up. Maggot Brain. The title track is just amazing. It's the first song in the album. Clinton was dropping acid, and the guitar player was gosh, I forget his name. Eddie Hazel was his name. A phenomenal guitar player, and Clinton went to him and said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put you in a dark room, and I want you to think about how you would feel if your mother had just died."
damn.
I mean, put him in this room, and what came out was a 10-minute guitar solo that is just achingly amazing, and it's one of the best guitar solos ever. It's been ranked as one of the most important guitar albums ever, but it's this dark psychedelic funk album, Maggot Brain, and it's made all the lists of one of the most important albums of the 70s, and it's really cool. I mean, yeah, so I was listening to that this morning while I was doing some editing that I didn't need to listen to.
Yeah.
Because it had been a while since I had listened to some Funkadelic. And Parliament and Funkadelic were the same band. They were just on different labels.
Oh, okay.
Which is another thing that was genius about Clinton, was that he realized, hey, if I took the band and just signed them with another label but used a different name, I just get paid twice.
Nice.
So that's what he did.
It's the pen name. It's the pen name.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You started in public radio, pretty much.
Yeah.
College radio. That was my first interview as a writer. Was in Richmond, University of Richmond Public Radio. College.
Go
station.
Spiders.
Yeah, go Spiders. So you know who the Spiders are. So I'm up there,
Yeah.
and the guy says, "Yeah, we're gonna have a killer audience tonight." And so we finished the segment, and they're like, "And the phones should be ringing off the hook." And then I was sitting there like this, and it was 5 minutes of silence. Nobody called. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "This sucks. I'm done with this." So I just got up and left.
Crickets. Crickets.
It's the story of my life, Walt. It's the story of my life. So
hey, did he check and it's like, was the transformer plugged in and everything? Did it go out?
I don't even know. The guy said he read my book, and it was when it was called Blood in Stone's Gate, and he'd only read one scene, so it was it was hard because I asked him questions about what he liked, and I've learned as a writer that not everybody reads your book that interviews you. So I'm like, it's a really uncomfortable silence. And he would go, "And we're going to commercial break," while I'm speaking. And so they would go to commercial break.
Commercial break.
It was bad. It was so bad. So,
that's not good.
So, who are some of your favorite character voices that you've done? You've done a lot of books. So what are some of the favorites?
In narration for audiobooks, Rufus is probably my favorite in The Last Tribe, just because he's just a great guy, and I could let the southern drawl really fly with him.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a really good one. The Last Tribe had the biggest list of characters that I've done. There have been some aliens in some other books that I've done, which are pretty interesting.
Okay.
But then, you get into some kind of stuff, and then like you're just making stuff up, and you're gargling and clicking and that kind of thing, which is fun. But some of the other things that have been really cool have been some of the voice acting stuff I've done that has not been in books. I did a thing for an anime called The Tongue Monster, where where the thing has a really long tongue that like shoots out and like sucks a guy's brain out of his head. So that's on YouTube somewhere in an anime comic. And I got a natural reverb from using like a Pringles can and growling and making all sorts of monster noises. That was cool. And then for a Marvel Lego video, which was kind of a fan-based thing, I did Peter B. Parker, which is an alternate universe of Spider-Man, where Mary Jane left Spider-Man. So Spider-Man's a little overweight, and he's like dejected and he's middle-aged, living at home. So he was he's like, do you have Uber Eats in this universe? So that kind of thing, and
you narrated that.
Yeah, and I've done Superman.
Okay.
In one thing, so that was cool, and I'm doing a voice for a Skyrim mod DLC thing, which is going to be a big thing. Currently doing that. Okay. So I can't tell too much of that, but it's going to be awesome.
Right.
So
because you're a big Skyrim fan.
I have logged over 1,000 hours in Skyrim. I would be very embarrassed to admit the exact number, but Skyrim's been out for 8 years now.
It has.
So
Elder Scrolls would be bad if you said over 1,000 on the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, well, I played Oblivion too before that, so
I logged 4,000 hours on Bannerlord.
On what?
Bannerlord. It's Mount Blade and Warband Bannerlord.
Yeah.
And that's before the writing really took off, and I was thinking about ending my writing career, and I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna do whatever, and I'm gonna video game through COVID, and because I'm working at home, and I stuck to my routine, what I usually do at work, right? I was one of the only people that actually worked on telework, and So I was the first to volunteer to go back because I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just
right.
I wrote 30,000 words in 3 weeks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of like me. Once I started the voiceover and narration stuff, I haven't had time to play a video game or go do anything for fun, really, because I enjoy doing this, and this relieves stress, so I don't need to go and go to the movies or anything or watch TV, because this is cool. I'm just getting jazzed off doing this.
Right.
This is really cool. So as long as the voice holds out, I'm going to keep doing this, and this is because it's fun doing the voice part, and I also love doing the audio editing part of it, which is the other. It actually is more than half of the job, which is a lot of fun too. Because I used to do that stuff for free as a hobby.
Right. So
on some other stuff I would do.
So what's the longest?
Which you have heard.
What is the longest stretch that you have ever done on a day? Like, what's the longest stretch you actually recorded and edited before you passed out?
Well, you take breaks to get up and go to the bathroom and that kind of thing, and then you get to the end of a chapter and then you edit. But there was one book with one writer. You want most chapters when you record them to be like between 15 minutes to half an hour to maybe 40 minutes long. But I was doing one book that the chapters were an hour to an hour and a half long. And he kept throwing in these huge words because it's like he was trying. I think he wrote the book just to try and kill a narrator. I did 3 chapters of that book in one day.
Oh my God.
And which meant it's like so it's 3. So it's an hour and a half, and an hour and a half. So that's what? That's 3 hours, and so 4.5 hours. And then you doubled that, so like 13 to 14 hours in one day. I was really trying to get that book done.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Do you ever get writers that are really pushy that they want it like tomorrow? I don't care what you have on your agenda. I want my book done in a week.
I've not run into them yet, but there's a simple answer to that. Okay, there's a fee on that. Sure, I'll be glad to do that. There's a rush fee, and I can do that.
It's Fiverr.
But you know,
It's Fiverr, Walt.
oh, it's Fiverr? No, me not speaking to English. Sorry. I call Mr. Walt now. You hold on, stay right here.
You're terrible.
Get up and leave.
So do you want to talk about that book that somebody optioned that involved a horse?
No, 'cause I didn't do that book. I got an offer on that book, and that was a naughty book.
So where do you draw the line, Walt?
Well, for right now, it's certainly in front of that one. I saw the word erotica, and there was a horse in the title. And I said, nay, no, we're not going there, Wilbur. No. Woo, whoa. Turn around. Don't go there.
So everybody tunes into these to get the rapid fire Ooowee questions. Are you familiar with the rapid fire?
I'm not familiar with the rapid fire.
Okay, so the rapid fire is questions right off the top of my head that you have to answer right off the top of your head, and then you go in from there, and you basically go ahead and you say, "Hey," for example, we'll do a dry run. Favorite flower.
Favorite flower? Self-rising.
I've never even heard
of
it.
Self-rising flour? You make biscuits from self-rising flour. Come on, man.
Let's go, man.
You self-rising flour, and you add some Crisco and buttermilk, and you make biscuits.
That's an original on the Ooowee. That is an original.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny are in a burning building.
Okay.
Who do you save?
The fireman. Don't go in there. Let it burn. Let it burn.
Let it burn.
They've both been screwing up church for years. They both have taken church holidays and let them become material things. Let them burn.
Let them burn.
They're not even real. Don't go in there. Let the house burn down. Save the firemen.
All right.
That's what you do.
Favorite food?
Yes. Seriously,
oh, shit.
I have a lot of favorite foods. I would say if I could get any food from anywhere right now, I would say fresh seafood. My favorite seafood is probably scallops. Very well done. Yeah. And because I live in North Dakota, I don't get good seafood.
That's
the nearest ocean is 1,800 miles in either direction. Any direction.
That's true.
This is the geographic center of North America. 1,800 miles in any direction. I can get some trout and some walleye, but.
So if you were to get a frozen package of very fresh seafood, come off the dock and gets overnighted, would that still be fresh?
If it was frozen, it'd be fresh frozen, which is okay. But then again, you got to find somebody who knows how to cook it here.
Can you cook it?
Not as well as I'd like to. Not as well as I'd like to. I mean, no.
Do you have Walmart in your town?
Oh yeah,
Do you go to said Walmart?
yeah. Oh yeah, we got Walmart.
Well, rapid fire question, do you have a custom made face mask?
Do I have a custom made face mask?
Yeah. You don't get the 7-Eleven
No,
brand.
no, I don't have a custom made face mask. But I do have numerous bandanas and other kind of masks
My,
to use. Yes.
my chiropractor has an adjustable band. Seriously, this dude's melon. He's humongous. He's like 6'5". He was like a offensive lineman in college. I mean, his head is just massive. And every time I mess with him, I'm like, you got them big ass ears, man. You got them big ass ears.
I do have quite a large head. Yes.
Yes, I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one that I had to put some extra Velcro on the back, and it sits like a dainty little teacup right there, and it messes up my goatee because it rides up, and so I don't wear it much. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but yes, I do wear my face mask in public, although I'm one of the few in this area of North Dakota that does that because ain't nobody up here scared of the beard flu, dadgummit. I ain't scared of no beer flu. Ain't gonna get me. Which is why we're spiking at the moment.
So Walt, North Dakota.
Yeah.
Is there a lot going on up there in that state? Like a water park?
Yeah, there's a water park up here. Small one. If you like to hunt, there's some really good hunting up here.
I'm sure there is.
There's some really good pheasant hunting, and if you like to fish, there's some good fishing in the Missouri River. And if you like to farm, there's a lot of good farms.
Answer the next question as Rufus. Are you ready?
Yes.
If Rufus were to see Jack struggling, running away from the Blue-Faced Boys, and it was not me controlling that character's response, what do you think Rufus would have said in that particular scene?
If Rufus saw Jack running away from the Blue-Faced Boys,
yeah, and
what would Rufus say?
What would Rufus have said if I didn't control the situation before the bears started getting in the picture?
He would have said, "Run faster, Jack! Follow me, I know a way. We gonna let the bear eat those guys with blue faces. Come on." Then he would have turned around to the guys with the blue faces and said, "Hey, y'all, what was that? Look at naked girl with boobies. Look."
So, if you could narrate for Star Wars or Star Trek, who would you narrate for?
Oh, if I could narrate, whoa, wow. Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yes.
You do a good Klingon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I own a Klingon dictionary. Kabla!
Just as my car now shows up.
Yeah.
My best friend from California just showed up. So use Rufus's voice and say, "Hey, Sergio, this is Rufus."
"Hey, Sergio, this is Rufus. How things in California land? How is it out there with them Yankees on the West Coast? You guys eat bait out there? Did I hear you eat bait out there called sushi?"
I love Rufus's voice. I'll tell you, every time I need a laugh, I listen to Rufus. What you got to trade over there?
What you got to trade?
I'll take some of that whiskey.
When I lived in South Carolina, there was a little radio station that used to have a show called Tradio, where people could call in and trade stuff on the radio. And it was like listening to two people at a garage sale. "I got a rod and reel. They're pretty good. I'll sell it to you for $15. No, I got this. I got this styrofoam cooler. It works real nice. It'll hold 2 6-packs. That's 14 beers. So they trade.
So the Audible version of Craigslist.
Yeah.
If you guys want to know how Last Tribe was actually made, was like this on Zoom a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy when you listen to that. So.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So Walt, let's go with what you think would be great fits for you for anybody that's looking for a narrator. What books are really up your alley that you would love to do?
Well, let me say this. I don't want to do any books that take place in or around Mount Popocatépetl in Mexico, because I had one already, and I've learned how to say Mount Popocatépetl.
Yeah, but you had to do it in a special voice.
Yeah, Mount Popocatépetl, and but no, seriously, I do like sci-fi, but I like thrillers, mysteries. I do a lot of good cop voices and authoritarian voices, especially like military voices, like "It's another glorious day in the U.S. Army. Today you have an opportunity to die for your country, boy." You know, that kind of thing. I also can do. I've done a lot of Bible study books, which are good. I like doing Bible study books. I've done some political books, although they don't sell well. I did one book and it sold a copy. So,
so for those of you that don't know, royalty share payments, 60% goes to ACX, 40% go to the narrator and the author. Of that 40%, we split 20%. So whatever you're paying, we're literally getting a cup of coffee for all our work. For all the hours of just grinding it out, we get $1.50.
Yeah.
So our first book, I sent Walt an email and said, enjoy a cup of coffee. Only you can't buy one for your wife, but enjoy a cup of coffee on me. Remember that email?
Right. Yeah, I still have it. Yeah. I think we're up to now. I could buy a pizza.
You can. It's got to be a 2-for-1 though, because it's only a medium that you can get. Well,
yeah. So we're getting there, man.
So go out and buy Last Tribe, please, so we can have a meal together.
If you buy Last Tribe and you like audiobooks, you will not be disappointed. It's a good little book.
It is. I really enjoy it.
It is.
Yeah.
You wrote a good book, man.
Thank you, Walt.
You did.
But, you know, as we saw in the reviews, I got a 4-star on the book and I got a 5-star on the narrator. So I was like, well, I don't know how the hell that happened, but it's all good.
That might be one of my sons. I don't know. I got 3 sons.
Yes, you do. And they're some big boys too. There ain't no little boys there. They're some big men. Yeah, they are.
They could make a good right side of an offensive line now.
Yes, they could.
They could.
Some monsters up there. So,
yeah.
In your opinion, do you think that Audible is the way that everybody's going now? I know you prefer Audible to listen to because you're always on the move, but does paperback intrigue you, or do you think that Audible is the only one that you really would see?
You know, I do like reading a book in my hand, but I rarely have time to do that unless I'm on vacation or something. You know, back when prior to COVID, when I could afford a vacation or something, I used to love to go up into the mountains and sit in a really good chair and curl up and read a John Grisham or a Sue Monk Kid or something like that, and just casually page through and read it over 2 or 3 days. But, you know, during the day and everything, going from here to there, I really have time to sit down with the page turner. But having an audio book means I can listen in the car when I'm going from one place to another. I I can listen on my phone when I'm working, doing something else. So, you can get a lot done that way. And so I think audiobooks are a strong market and a growing market and something that people should look into. Plus, you can do things with an audio book or an audible experience that you can't do just on a page. There's more that you can communicate with the tone of voice and inflection and background sounds um, that communicates more there, so than just words on a page. But then again, you're kind of limiting the reader's imagination. It's a give or take, So
I've heard some
yeah,
wonderful comments about your voice from people that have actually listened to it. They
well,
say
thank you.
they kind of say it's like the freight train through the brain, because it's kind of like everybody listens to the voice. And every time I ask them, I'm like, well, do you like the story? And they're like, all right. And I'm like, cool. I mean, Walt Allen.
That's because they're
was
talking to you.
I get it. It's audible.
It's a really good story.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, there were moments I was crying reading that story.
Yeah.
I mean, moments with Jack and Toby.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh,
yeah.
I mean, I was just like, oh man.
So,
like,
so for you, I think that, that being a Constitution book was kind of a way. It had to have a perfect narrator. It wouldn't have worked with any other voice. I tried out, I think, 30 people.
Really?
Yeah. I turned down 29 people. I sought you out.
Cool.
I listened to your samples and I thought, this is Jack. This is Jack Madison. And I really,
cool.
You took the rails off when you went with Rufus. I mean, Rufus took a life of his own. I mean, he was only a side character.
Yeah.
A limited side character. He just appeared out of nowhere in a forest. I mean, I wasn't even thinking that was going to, particularly that scene that you're talking about in the cabin, where it's really emotional. And I think that scene got written the week I was leaving one job to go to another, and I was terrified. And I just threw open the door and I was like, okay, I need an emotional scene because I can't physically cry right now with the stress, but I can get it out in a book. And that scene was a big deal to me. I think the final battle scene was really difficult because I think in post-apocalyptic, a lot of people will get it wrong that, you're looking at something 200 years since, and you're looking at kids are men at 17, 16.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the median age. You don't see anybody in that book that's over 40.
Bushwick Bill is 50.
Bushwick and Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it.
Frank Dayton. Yeah. So, all those people tie in, but I think, Quill isn't probably but 30 something.
Yeah.
Because of the Purge.
That sounds right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Adam, Jock, Charlie, those
guys are all teenagers.
Yeah, all those Blades were no older than maybe 14, 15.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I mean, some of the kids in that final battle were no older than 11 years old.
Yeah.
Where there's that pivotal scene where Quill kind of feels like this is just a meat grinder. And he's like, I'm sending these kids out to face, grown-ass warriors. And, that story is kind of dark, man, don't you think? Is there any comedy in that?
Oh, gosh, yes. There's a lot of comedy.
You think?
Yeah. Did you notice how many times you had Toby sitting at a table eating with his mouth full?
That was not on purpose, actually. That was just off the cuff. I did not plan any of those.
Well, every time he did it, I played it as he was eating with his mouth full.
I know. With the cucumber scene, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was hilarious with the
I
cucumber
forget what
seeds.
he says, but I played it like, how does that with his mouth full?
Yeah, you know, when he called Bushwick old, that was good.
Yeah.
And when he said
Yeah.
yuppers
Yeah.
flipped me out. I literally laughed until I couldn't laugh anymore.
Yeah. There are a lot of lighthearted comical spots in the book. Yeah. So, and there is some relief there, but is the story dark? Yeah, because there are slaver tribes
Yeah.
looking to capture people and turn them into slaves, and there is no constitution, and people don't have human rights, and yeah, so it's a dark place. It's post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, but
So, but there is hope, and there's hope that comes in, and that's what makes the book important, because it gives hope to that situation.
right.
So it's yeah,
So, do you think that that this would be a good benefit for any young people that are interested in the Constitution, or not?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. If they just like good fiction, it's a good read. It's a good listen and a good read. But yeah, I think it's good for anybody that wants to discuss what the Constitution is, and what freedom is, and what human rights are, and what the Constitution is supposed to provide and protect. Because a lot of people don't know what the Constitution does. You know, people. It seems like one group of people in the country knows what the First Amendment's about, and one group of people knows what the Second Amendment's about, and then nobody knows what the rest of them are about.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. And then, you know, the
Yeah,
amendments. A lot of people don't have any idea what the amendments are about,
right.
you know? And
Yep,
you know, in truth, you know, I'm not a Constitution expert. All I did was create an adventure story for kids.
yep,
You know, if I had it back to do over, I definitely would have been more inclined to, you know, give certain pages, you know, of this is the third page of the document, not just
yeah,
the amendment. So you knew right where to turn if you were interested in that part. If I had it
yeah.
back to do over, that would be the one thing that I think I would have done.
Okay. I think it's good like it is. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know that I would have. At a certain point, you have to back away from what you're doing.
right.
It's like, if you're painting the Mona Lisa, does she really need highlights in her hair? You know,
I don't know. Have you have you ever seen the Mona Lisa up close?
not personally, no.
Yes, I have, and I was drunk. And let me tell you how you get thrown out of the Louvre. So traditionally, this is a DB Bray moment. Traditionally, in the Louvre or the Louvre, right? As
Louvre, a Louvre,
the
the Louvre.
Rufus would say the Louvre.
Yeah, the Louvre.
It's the Louvre. Basically, if you cross the room from one side to the other, she follows you in her eyes. That's what I read before I got in
Yeah,
there.
but she's staring you down. She's sizing you up.
Seriously. So I go to one side, but I'm drunk. So I'm not walking in a straight line. I'm like zigzagging, right? Side to side. And I'm bumping into all these tourists. And I'm like, she's looking at me. She's looking at me. And I keep bumping into people. And the security guard comes and he escorts me from the room. And he brings me down to the Venus de Milo. Have you heard of the Venus de Milo?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. So
Are you the one that broke her arms off?
So I walk in to the Venus de Milo. I'm not shitting you. I walk into the Venus de Milo, and the guy's like, "There's the exit, right?" But he said it in French. So I looked at him, and I looked up at the statue, and I'm drunk as all hell. I drunk, and some more drunk. And
Did you feel up the Venus de Milo?
so I was like, last week I was in Tijuana, and I was on Premier Calle Street. And I'm just wondering what y'all doing with the half-naked woman with no arms. And I started to slide my hand up, and I thought you can actually get arrested for that, touching
Yes.
the Venus de Milo. And I didn't know. And the guy was like, "You're drunk," and I was like, "When I finish this bottle, I will be." And so he literally threw me out of the Louvre, out the back end. He threw me out the back exit. Yeah. Yeah, I've been kicked out of the Louvre. I got kicked out of Napoleon's burial. Where you get the veranda view, and
Yeah.
he's buried in 7 different layers. He's buried in gold, bronze, copper. He's buried in 7 layers, and he's in
Well, they
a.
don't want him to get out, do
They
they?
don't. They made sure he ain't coming back. There ain't no vampires in this one. So I sat there and I was like Napoleon, and I'm pounding on the glass wall. I'm like Napoleon, and they were like, "You need to leave, sir." And I was like Napoleon. So they had to drag me out of that one too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So you can go anywhere in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and they can threaten to throw you out, and you can say, "Look, I've been thrown out of a lot better places than this."
Especially in Fargo.
Well, yeah, it's
What
Fargo.
what if readers are not listening, there's a lot of stupid things I say when I've been drinking. Now, there
Yeah,
was a pool hall that was a members only bar. I didn't know. And on the side of the street, across from the Radisson, I don't know if you've been to Fargo, but at the Radisson,
I have.
okay,
Yes,
and the bar with the saloon style doors.
not really,
Okay,
but I assume there is one there.
you
Yes.
turn the corner around from the Radisson, or 20 years ago you did. And in
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood movies, they open and they don't close. Did you notice that? Like, when Clint Eastwood
Yeah.
walks,
Yeah.
they close. Walt, are you familiar with saloon style doors and the springs behind
Yes.
them?
Yes.
So it hit me in the chest and it knocked me back into the street. And so I got up and I walked over across the street to the other bar. Now in Chicago, when you walk into a greeting, you're like, "What's up, Chief? Like, how you doing?" And
Yeah.
I walked
Yeah.
up the stairwell, and I'll never forget this. I walked up in the stairwell, and I was too drunk to know who I was speaking to. It was a Native American only members bar.
Yeah.
No idea.
And
So
you said something, Chief?
I did, but I didn't realize it until he hit me in the face, and I went all the way back
Yeah.
down the stairwell, and I was like, "What happened?" And then I looked up and went, "Oh, God." And I just crawled back to the Radisson. Last time I ever flew a flight into Fargo. That's embarrassing. When you're that drunk, you got a problem. It's time
Yeah.
to call it a day.
That was a wake up call.
That was the
Yeah.
wake up
Yeah.
call right there. When you're going to get stabbed or shot for stupidity,
Yeah.
it's a whole new
Yeah.
ball game.
Yeah. 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 You said that to somebody who was a First Nations member.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can get wiped out that way, brother.
Yeah. That's true.
Not my proudest moment. So when I say I've been kicked out of better places than the Louvre, I've been kicked out of better places than the Louvre.
Well, that could have ended worse. So
Much worse. And a lot of
he
it.
probably did you a favor.
Well, in Normandy, I got hung up in a pine tree, beaten to a bloody pulp. Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah, yeah. We won't go into that story. So, yeah.
Okay.
So we did some rapid fire, then we digress. We're gonna rapid fire real quick to close this out.
Okay. Rapid fire.
Walt Allen,
Yes.
what is your favorite voice that you do?
My Southern drawl
Okay, Southern drawl.
with yes, my Southern drawl for a televangelist. Yes.
We're moving on. So,
Yes.
next question, Walt Allen.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
could have a mask on with any character from Last Tribe as the facial piece, whose face would be on your mask?
If I could have a mask on with Edward.
Do Edward's voice.
Edward, the pirate who runs the bookstore in Philadelphia. Yes. Yes.
I love
The
Edward.
big giant guy.
Yes, he was. And he actually
Yes.
thought he was Blackbeard. That's the beautiful part.
Yes.
Let's see. What was your least favorite part of Last Tribe?
The least favorite part of Last Tribe.
The most painful.
The most painful part. Well, I'm going to say the first thing that popped in my head. The least favorite part of Last Tribe was not being able to go back to get the Blueface slaver tribe,
Ah,
leaving that unresolved.
yeah, yeah,
I wanted them to get their butts whooped.
yep. Well, you got a 2-man team against a 20-man team. Discretion being the better part of valor there.
Yeah, they had gotten killed.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
Paulie's about
book
that life.
two,
Yeah, Paulie's about that life.
book two.
Book 2, baby, we're coming back. You know how
Yeah,
Rufus says, we're going to go back there, Jack.
yeah. We got some unfinished business.
So
They took their rifle, boy.
if I appreciate you coming on the show, Walt. You made The Last Tribe.
Thank you.
The narration, and if you guys really want to hear a great narration of a decent book, please go check out The Last Tribe, narrated by Walt Allen on ACX right now, and you can get yourself a copy.
It's available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes, I believe. Is it
iTunes,
not?
that is correct. Just so we can finish,
Cool.
What happens when you screw up a line? What is the move that you do? Y'all gonna love this.
I don't know. It depends. I just kind of reflexively react.
You do.
I kind of have a little vocal spasm.
And then you do the...
Oh, yeah. I do a dog clicker. That shows up on the waveform.
Right.
Yeah, so I can see it when I'm editing. It's like, oh, messed up there, and it speeds up the process.
Nice. I like that. The
Yeah.
dog clicker. You're the man.
Yeah, little dog clicker.
You
Yeah.
are the man, Walt. So, yeah, I'll be in touch soon, but I just wanted to have you on the live as a pop-up to say thank you for all the hard work you've done, and we're going to keep it moving and keep doing business. So, guys,
We'll do more.
this is Walt Allen from The Last Tribe, so and among other books. So you can find him on Audible. So, Walt,
Yeah.
I salute you.
Okay. Peace.
I'll see you later, Walt.
Peace, brother.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for showing up. That was Walt Allen from The Last Tribe. He's an amazing narrator. He made my book come to life. And if you need to get it on Audible, and just go ahead and get you a copy. And if you can't get you a copy because times are tough, hit me up in the DM and I'll comp you a copy with a promo code. So no big deal there. I know times are tough right now and Audible books are kind of expensive. So hit me up if you need one and I got you. So once again, thank everybody for coming. And, this is DB Bray from the Ooowee Last Tribe Chronicles.